Why PinaLove will waste your time. Let's talk about the PinaLove dating app and why, if you're serious about finding a real relationship, it's probably going to waste your time. Now, you could argue that's true for any dating app, right? But today I want to do a deep dive into PinaLove, because this one is a special kind of circus. PinaLove has a notorious reputation. I'm talking about scammers, both local and overseas serial dinner daters, and yes, even prostitutes. And that's just on the Filipina side of the app. On the foreigner side, you've got the guys who only want to sext, collect pictures, or spend their nights watching cam shows. Also, the ratio of women to men is 30 to 70 with 20% being transgender. I'm not entirely sure about that. Heard that stat from another video. Either way, it's a sausage fest. So what happens if you're one of the rare few who actually wants something real? A genuine connection? Well, the app almost seems designed to make sure you don't find it, which is clown-level funny since the ratio of genders indicate that for men it is already an uphill battle. Most of the Filipina profiles are low-effort or downright fake. You'll see the same patterns over and over. One blurry selfie, no bio, and a vague line like petite and cute or looking for serious. It's hard to know who's real, who's active, and who's just bait for engagement. That's why learning to spot which profiles to invest time in and which ones to ignore is absolutely key if you're going to survive on this app. Now here's something interesting. PinaLove is free for women. And the popular profiles? They get premium privileges because they help attract men who the app hopes will upgrade their membership. That's really what PinaLove is built for. Not love, engagement, and revenue. And to be fair, it's not the worst offender out there. If you want to see true chaos, try Filipina Cupid. That app is pure trash. I once made a profile there with no photo, no bio, nothing, and I was getting messages and likes from what looked like supermodels. Some of those Filipinas were logging in from Cairo and Istanbul. I still don't know how that app hasn't been taken down. So yes, PinaLove has scammers. But compared to Filipina Cupid, it's practically wholesome. The real issue isn't the scammers. It's the low-effort, low-interest crowd. Most of the ladies there aren't truly looking for a relationship. They're just browsing, bored, or fishing for attention. So, if you're looking for something real, genuine connection, shared values, actual conversation, don't expect PinaLove to hand it to you. Because on that app, love isn't the product. You are. Red flags and reality checks on PinaLove. Now, let's get into the details, the profile red flags you'll see over and over on PinaLove. Because once you recognize the patterns, you'll save yourself a lot of wasted time. No profile descriptions. Let's start with the obvious one. No profile description. You'll scroll through hundreds of profiles that say absolutely nothing. Maybe one or two words, sometimes even just an emoji. Once in a while, you'll see someone who's actually put effort into their profile, and it's almost shocking. Why so few? Well, some probably get enough likes without trying. Others might struggle with English. On its own, a blank profile isn't a deal breaker. But when you start combining that with other low-effort signs, it's usually time to move on. One photo profiles. Then there's the one photo profile. That's another major red flag. If it's just one photo and no description, don't even bother. It's often a throwaway account made just to browse, or sometimes even a straight-up scam. And if that one photo looks too perfect, overprocessed, professional lighting, studio background, yeah, that's a scammer 9 times out of 10. Overprocessed photos. Let's talk about filters. There's nothing worse than showing up to meet someone and realizing the person in front of you looks nothing like their pictures. She's shorter, heavier, maybe even has scars or marks you didn't see online. Pay attention to the photos. If they're stretched, airbrushed, or look like they belong in a magazine, I just hide the profile and move on. Only face or upper body shots. Next one, only face shots or upper body photos. That's a huge red flag. Why? Because it usually means they're hiding something. Most often, it's weight. You'll see tons of catfish by omission. Nice smile, flattering angle, but no full-body photo anywhere. If they do show their full body, they'll use wide lenses or far-away shots to look thinner or taller. Trust me, after a while, you'll spot those tricks instantly. Photos that look too different. Sometimes you'll scroll through their gallery and the photos look like they're from different decades. One picture looks 21. The next one looks 30. I've literally seen profiles where you can watch the aging process happen, pregnancy photos, post-pregnancy photos, and then years later, updated selfies. That's a red flag. It tells you they're not curating their profile seriously. Clown makeup. Now let's talk about makeup. You'll see some profiles where the makeup looks cartoonish, like a Chinese doll. That's what I call clown makeup. Normal girls don't do that. Those are usually freelancers, bar girls, or sometimes even ladyboys. Too much makeup often means they're hiding something or presenting a fantasy version of themselves. If all their photos are caked in filters and foundation, skip it. Location disabled. Here's a sneaky one, location turned off. PinaLove uses GPS to show how far away someone is. But a lot of profiles disable it, which means they could be anywhere. Many scammers use this trick because they're not even in the Philippines. So if you can't see where someone's located, be cautious. Too tall. Now, here's a fascinating statistic. You'll see a lot of Filipinas claiming to be 5 feet 5 inches, 5 feet 6 inches, sometimes even taller. Sounds great, but statistically, that's extremely rare. Only about 3 to 5% of adult Filipinas are 5 feet 6 inches or taller. That's like 1 in 300 women. So if you see a lot of tall women on PinaLove, chances are some of them might not be women at all. Transgender profiles are common on these apps. Some open about it, some not. Just something to keep in mind. Too heavy or fat. Now, let's be honest, there are plenty of overweight women on PinaLove too. You'll often see profiles of women around 5 feet tall and 150 pounds or more. It's not a criticism, it's just reality. If fitness or body type matters to you, you'll have to sift through a lot to find what you're looking for. Young and single or a single mom. And finally, the single moms. There are a lot of them. Not surprising when you consider that around half of all children in the Philippines are born out of marriage. Why? A mix of poverty, lack of access to birth control, and honestly, not much else to do in small towns. When you're young and bored, nature tends to take over. Crude but true. Why you're not the Prince Charming of PinaLove. Now, let's talk about something most guys never think about before they open these apps, the culture behind the chaos. See, in the Philippines, there's no divorce. So a lot of people make a very conscious decision not to get legally tied down. And when you look closer, especially in certain parts of the country, you realize the social structure is actually matriarchal. What do I mean? The women, the grandmothers, the mothers, the sisters, the daughters, they are the clan. They raise the kids. They hold the household together. The men, they come and go. They're like house cats that wander off and maybe show up when it's dinner time. So when you meet a young single mom on PinaLove, don't be surprised. She's probably part of that structure. You're expected to contribute, to help, but not to lead. You're not joining a family. You're a temporary member of the clan. And trust me, they'll talk about you as the dumb gringo when you're not around. Reddit expats will gaslight you into thinking it's the traditional way. You have to help the family. She's legally obligated to support the family. Blah, blah, blah. Don't get sucked into that. So take my advice. Don't marry a Filipina who's gaslighting about tradition while she sports 3 illegitimate children from 3 different fathers. Now, remember all those red flags I mentioned earlier? Let's recap. You'll see. No profile description. One lonely photo. Overprocessed, filtered pictures. Just face and upper body shots. Photos that look years apart. Location turned off. Clown-level makeup. And yeah, too tall, too heavy, or a single mom. That's your bingo card for PinaLove. But let's get real for a second. Fellas, you are not as special as you think. You're probably over 50. You've got a few medical conditions. Maybe you're bald, maybe you've got a little belly. You're not making anyone moist. So when that 22-year-old sends you a like, ask yourself, what's really going on? Let's not forget the ratio is 30 to 70 on the dating app. It's a sausage fest and somehow bikini bottom hotties choose your erectile dysfunction fat ass? If she's genuine, it's for economic relief, plain and simple. And hey, if you're fine with that arrangement, that's your business. Just don't be shocked when you find out she's got a real boyfriend on the side who's actually giving her the attention you can't. You noticing that guapo cousin being a bit too handsy or the love of your life giving him bedroom eyes? Chances are he's balls deep in her while you pass out on Red Horse. Then she shows up at your apartment and claims she's pregnant with your kid. For heaven's sake, use protection or get a vasectomy before coming here. You breathe on a Filipina and she'll get pregnant. And here's the kicker. Some of these profiles don't even try to hide it. They'll flat out write, looking for a provider or want princess treatment. And those are the honest ones. Then you've got the others, the fake ones, the bait accounts. No description, one photo, maybe 19 years old, says she's 5 feet 11 inches and 88 pounds. Yeah, sure. Okay. You get that like, and your heart starts racing. You like her back. You send a message, polite, respectful, thoughtful. And she replies, yes. You try again, put some effort in. She answers one word, or just reacts to the last line of your message. And that's it. Dead conversation. You repeat that same cycle with every hottie on the app until you realize, maybe these profiles aren't even real. Here's my theory. A lot of these are interaction profiles. They're not real people. They're there to keep you chatting, liking, engaging, until you pay to get over the paywall. I've literally logged off the app, and within 1 minute, boom, a new like from a profile that looks straight out of a Miss Universe pageant. Total coincidence, right? So yeah, avoid these profiles like the plague. Actually, avoid the app. Alright, so now you're wiser. You're filtering better. You're being realistic. You've stopped falling for the obvious scams. And what's left? Mostly average, regular women, many with kids, some a bit heavier, but likely genuine people. Now, don't forget, you're not a loser back home. You've worked hard, built a career, raised a family. You're a high-value man. You didn't fly across the world to become an ATM for a single mother with 3 kids and a rice addiction. Right? Right? So you keep looking. You filter out the scams, the fakes, the freeloaders. You finally find a few nice, young, attractive ones willing to meet, and then, here comes the travel money message. They need help getting to you. Apparently, they've never heard of a trike or jeepney. You pay once, mistake number 1. She shows up with a chaperone. Mistake number 2. She tells you it's traditional. She's 27. What is she, a convent nun? And if you actually go through with it, the date lasts 45 minutes. She's on her phone, barely talks, maybe orders food that she doesn't even eat, and you end up paying for a dinner you didn't enjoy, for company that wasn't really there. At that point, you realize you'd rather be alone. So here's the lesson. On PinaLove, you can find likes, but finding love, let alone real people, that's a different game entirely. And if you're not careful, you'll end up funding someone's lifestyle instead of finding a partner. Of course, there's exceptions, but that doesn't make the rule. Dating apps, and particular PinaLove, is at best a distraction/novelty. You are better off putting boots on the ground.